Creating multiple parts in a Partstudio. So, for your best learning experience, please, we recommend 2 browser windows. Yeah, I would do it. Again, you can swipe left and right and all the way with 3 fingers on the Mac. Do it. It's worth it. I have 2 tabs open because I'm making a video, so it makes sense, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it is more movement. I don't know. All I do know is that we're about to do this, and I have a tropical cherry seltzer in front of me. That's delicious. So what it suggests here is to open up this document and create a copy. What I'm going to try doing, because I think we're awesome, is I'm just going to assume we did a great job with this last sketch. I've already gone ahead and duplicated it and renamed it. And we're just going to work off of this, because why not? YOLO. Also, I have tropical cherry seltzer. So, skipping step 1, going right into step 2. It's asking us to do a couple of extrudes. So, if we go ahead, and I'm just trying to pull up something on my side screen here, we can hop in here, and we need to make an extrude. Oop, that's a sketch. We want an extrude. Make sure it's a solid extrusion, and we need to click all of these areas except for that tiny little circle every time we have that circle. Bing, boom, done. Now, we just want to set it so that, again, we're in millimeters. It is set to a depth of 5 millimeters. And then I believe we can just go ahead and extrude it. It does ask us to note, hey, which way are you extruding this thing? Are you going this way? Are you going the other way? So just keep an eye on that. It'll be important in a step or 2. This is supposed to be renamed large arm. And we have our first part. Now we want to turn on our primary sketch again, main sketch again, whatever you called it. And we're going to hop on over to the next slide. Next slide's probably literally just turn it back on. Yep, boom. And now we got to try extruding the other arm on the other side. We don't want to have these parts intersecting each other because they would be fused together, and that doesn't make sense. We want 2 moving arms at the end of this. So let's hop in. I rotate it around, and let's extrude some new stuff. It looks like it's extruding the wrong direction. Is it extruding the wrong direction? Yes, it is. If it is, we can flip it. And we don't want an extrude add, we want an extrude new. What we should be able to do is extrude it to 5 millimeters. Yep, and it's a new extrusion, and it is good. Whoop, it is not good. I need to select these 2 little pesky areas. Now that we have that, I can hit the check, and we have, I believe, what are we going to name it? Drum roll, please. Small arm. Haha. How convenient. So, we've drawn our small arm, and now we kind of want to take a look at drawing something else because we're going to be creating some extra features in a moment. And we need to draw on this side of our large arm. We need to make that our sketch plane. So if I hop back in here, I guess we can turn off our primary sketch for now. We might need it later. We'll come back to you. And we're going to create a sketch on this surface. That's our sketch plane. Now, we are going to call this large arm grip sketch. I believe that's what it was called. Bingo. And it told us to hide our main sketch. And now what we can do, we're going to use the Use Project tool. How good. I enjoy this. So it looks like we're going to be drawing, I believe, down here in a moment. So if we look, we're going to be looking at this point right here. And let's just go to the next. Oh no, this point. I was wrong. I would have led you down the wrong road. We're going to be looking at this point right here, and we're going to be drawing this, this little feature kind of like a gripper. It's going to look good. It's like how these two lever arms are going to actually grip together. We're basically making a set of pliers, I believe. So let's hop, yep, this way, that way. Which way did we make our sketch on? I'm getting all confused. It's this seltzer. It's also past my bedtime. We are going to make that sketch right here. So zoom in, and we're Gouda. First order of business, center point rectangle. Can I make a center point rectangle right there? Yes, I kind of can. But what's probably actually going to make more sense is for us to use project. Use project, U-tool. Again, whoever makes some sort of rap about this tool eventually will, I don't know, they'll get straight A's in all of my classes forever because they're so smart. They're so brilliant. I use projected that. It just basically took that hole and then drew that hole on the sketch that we're on right now. And I'm going to grab a center point rectangle, and I'm going to make a center point rectangle based off of this right here. Now, an other thing we have to do is we have to turn on our primary sketch, because we actually need to use project this construction line. Now we can turn it off again. Bye-bye. And now we have a rectangle, a construction line. The rectangle is based on the center of this circle that we use projected, and our construction line is technically a line, but it's used projected in here. Let's go ahead and turn that to a construction line. I just clicked it and hit construction because we don't need a real line there. And let's take a look back at what else we need to do. We need to make a construction line up a little ways. We need to make some regular lines down, and then we have some dimensions and constraints that we got to play around with. So construction line, I'm going to find the midpoint here, make a line straight up, and then I'm going to hit escape, and I'm just going to grab just a regular line tool. I'm going to draw a line there and a line here. Now this is going to be like a longer video, I believe, just because there are a few things that we got to do. A few things that we got to make. I'm going to set this line equal to this line, so kind of sort of makes them symmetric. And then now we can throw in some dimensions. So the distance between here and here is 1. Very tight, close quarters. The distance between this point and this point is 10. And then the distance between this point and this line is not 12, it's also 10. And that looks like we got pretty much everything in this sketch in there. Yeah, good deal. Good, cool beans. Now we're gonna make a new sketch. And it's gonna be up here. Big stretch. Gotta do a quick stretch, guys. Now, we're gonna hit the check, and I guess we're gonna call this small arm grip, and we're gonna make a sketch on this surface right here. Now again, we're making multiple parts. This thing's eventually gonna come all together. It's gonna look way cool. It's basically like a little set of pliers. I've made a sketch on this surface, and now if we look at step 8, we're doing the same thing that we did previously. There are different ways you could do this. I would say, to be honest with you, just mirroring this thing is probably the easiest way to go about it. Yeah, let's just mirror this thing. Can we mirror it? We might break some stuff if we mirror it. Let's just redraw it. Because if we mirror it, then they might be linked together, and then that might be annoying if we ever actually want to make an assembly of this thing. So laziness is nice right now, but let's actually just redraw it real quick. Okay, so use project, make a rap about it, get free internet points, and like just be awesome. Make this rectangle, and then let's go ahead and take a look here. Take a look-see. Yeah, it's basically the same thing, right? Okay, same thing, just different day. We want to make our line. So we're going to make our little line here. Make another line. Make another line. Set them equal to each other. Dimension this to this. I'm going to make that 1. Dimension this. No. Dimension this to this. Make that 10. Dimension this to this. Also make that 10. What's intriguing to me is we haven't actually dimensioned this, but I think they're assuming, let's back it up a second. Yeah, they're just assuming that we're making all the sides equal to each other. So we might actually have to back up a step. So rectangle, boom, that's equal to that, and then that's set. Let's go back to large arm sketch, and let's go equal is equal to this. Boom. Sketch 1. That looks good. That looks so much better. All defined. Well defined. If you've ever gone to Canada, or if you ever go to Canada, you should get well-dressed chips. Actually, excuse me, all-dressed chips is what they're called. I like to call them well-dressed chips, and I get made fun of for that, but I don't really get made fun of. I just continue to say well-dressed chips because I think it sounds funnier, and I like imagining a whole bag of chips that are well-dressed, like physically well-dressed. You know, top hats, canes, I don't know. Maybe not, I don't know. That's kind of strange. Anyways, I just did that. I renamed it to Small Arm Grip Sketch. Yeah, that looks good to me. So now what we got to start doing is playing around with, for our step 9, working with planes and plane that's offset. So what we're going to do, we are going to make a plane off of this surface, and we're going to offset it by 25 millimeters. So that's this side. Our plane tool, you can search it up or you can look up here. It's automatically doing this offset. Offset, not a good wrapper. Not a nice man. Mid-plane, I believe is what that's called. Yep. And once we have this offset, again, not a nice wrapper, we can hit check. And yeah, that looks good. Let's just make sure we're on the right side. No, we're not on the right side. I need to go back to this mid-plane here, and we're going to flip it. Again, we're always looking at direction. What side are we doing things on? Is it the right side? Is it the same side that they're doing in the tutorial? Yeah. Now we're good. We're good. So we're going to turn that main sketch on, and we got to start extruding our pivot points, our little axles that we started making previously. So let's go ahead and we're going to do that. So choose the medium circle and our pivot pin, and let's start to actually extrude them as new extrudes up the face. The face is going to be the mid plane, and then a second end position is going to be the face of this part right here. That seems simple enough. So let's go ahead and turn our primary sketch back on. Let's turn these other 2 sketches off because they'll just get us confused possibly. And let's take a look. We're just making the pins. So let's go ahead and start doing an extrude. Let's just go for it. We're going to select this, and we want it to be a new extrusion. And let's also select this, and let's also select that, and let's flip them, but we also are just going to do up until face, and we're making them so they go up until that face right there. Now that looks pretty much right. they're also, so that large arm pin and the small arm pin, looks like they're solid. So we're just gonna wanna fix that. Yeah, because we want to see the colors right there. So let's go back in here and then face this to extrude. We also want to do this. No, I just click the arrow. And this. And I click too many things. We don't want those bottom ones. That was overzealous. But we got to make sure we hit that midpoint. So if I turn off large arm, there we go. Turn back on large arm. Bingo, bingo. All right, now we have to do a second end position. And the second end position is also going to be up to face. It's going to be up to here, I believe. And that looks good. Pivot pin and large arm pin. So we got our two parts here. What is this? I believe this is our large arm pin. And this is our pivot pin. Now, they're interfering. We're going to work on that later, is what the document says, and we will address that later. What we got to work on first is some extra pins. So if we head on up to step 11, we're going to create 2 new pins, and we're going to work here to start. Again, solid, new, up to face, mid plane, and we're going to choose the medium circle. So we can go ahead, swing around, extrude, medium circle, inner circle, up to face, extrude new, bingo. And then are we doing a second end position? No. Sweet. Good deal. And we're going to do small arm pin. So I can just rename this part, rename small arm pin. Now, again, all of these are interfering with their levers. What we're going to do next is actually use a Boolean, great tool for the future. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to subtract the bit of interference from the pins, and we're going to keep the lever arms. So we just got to copy exactly what's going on here. Boolean looks like this, 2 circles, Venn diagram. So let's go up here and we'll look for Boolean, and our tools, let's do subtraction. Our tools are going to be our large arms, because that's like what we're using to subtract with, and then our targets are going to be the pins. So targets are bingo, 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 and automatically it's trying to delete the lever arms. We don't want that. We want to keep them. So we're going to keep the tools there, and then boom. If you were to look at it now, you won't see that weird chaotic mess in there. We've actually subtracted where they intersected away from the pins, where the lever arms intersected the pins. Great tool. You'll be using it forever. Now we're going to extrude these little doodads, these little grips. So let's go ahead and turn those 2 sketches back on, and we'll hit our ye olden extrude button. And now I just got to get into the right spot. And ye old extrude button will do its job, but what we want to do again is we want to be extruding up until a face, and that face is our mid plane again. We're always dealing with this mid plane, the pesky mid plane. And once we have that, we're good. We can hit the check and rename these parts to large arm grip and small arm grip. So hit the check. What do we got here? Large arm grip and small arm grip. Boom. And now that we have these two little grip things, we can head on up to slide 14. It's going to ask us to basically make a pin coming off the grip. So hop in here. Oh, and I forgot to do one thing in our extrude. These little holes here, we got to plug up. Boom. Oh, you, what are you doing? We got to address this. No, what are you doing to me? I just forgot to select these two little areas. And it's not a fan. I'm just going to delete all this stuff. Go away. Why are you not happy with that? Let's see here. No, I don't want that. That I want, but I don't want all this other junk extruded. Okay, boom. Okay, that's good. Now let's select these areas. Okay, now it's fixed. I must have been selecting stuff from farther down and I didn't like it, like maybe from the main sketch. That's fixed now. But did I wreck everything else? No, I just turned everything else off. Again, this seltzer and my lack of sleep today, you must think I'm going crazy. And maybe I am a little bit, but I think I'm doing okay. I'm just trying to get this video done before we need to have it for you to learn, you know? So, all right, I just fixed that. I had a mistake here where I didn't extrude like the actual like hole of the grip. I did it definitely wrong compared to here. These are two physical objects with no holes in them because we're turning the back of it into this little pin area. In order to like not confuse myself, I'm turning off the primary sketch because I think that's where I just went wrong a second ago. And what we're going to do is a good old extrude, and we're going to do an extrude add here. And I think the distance is going to be up to face again. Yeah, it's going to be the back face of our large arm here. We're going to have to do these one at a time. So extrude add, we select that area. Instead of blind, we're going to do up to face, and we're going to click that. And we should just be able to hit check. Yeah, bingo. We like that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. What's our part 8? It's not happy. Extrude 6. Extrude add. Merge scope. Boom. I made an extrude new. I don't know why I did that. Again, I should probably just stop recording and go to bed. But we're going to get this done because it makes sense for us to get this done. And if I have to edit this video later, I'll edit it later. We're going to do another extrude. That's going to be the next step, step 15. And again, small arm grip, that little circle up to face. So hopefully this is pretty straightforward as well, as long as I can remember to hit add. So we're going to click this. We're adding it to that small arm. And then we need it to be up to face. The face we're going up to is that right there. Bingo! Let's go! Small arm and large arm grip are pretty much there. So in order to make it so that we have these parts on the other side and it looks more like a pair of pliers that we could actually use, we're just going to mirror them over. Should hopefully be an uneventful procedure. So we are going to turn on, do we need to turn anything on? Front sketch is on, so we should actually be fine. We're going to hit mirror. Mirror is this little guy up here. Mirroring, we're going to click on the two grips, and it's going to say, hey, what's your mirror plane? Mirror plane should just be the center plane there. But let's see what it's telling us. A face of extrude 5. Oh, you make sense now. Is it this? No. Is it this? No, that's too far. What's the extrude 5? Mirror plane. Oh. This wants us to do all the pins. But I don't remember what our good old... Oh. Face of extrude 5. That's face of extrude 2. That's face of extrude 1. I think this is what they want, but I don't actually know anymore because it's kind of off. The way that they've noted this. So small arm grip up to face. So far we've only modeled half of the pin and the grip components. We need to complete the geometry. We need to mirror the 5 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Part mirror. Mirror the feature. But we are mirroring the part. Guys, my brain's melted. I am going to call it a day, and I am going to record the rest of this next time. Because I feel as though in class, you're going to get this far, and then you're going to be like, all right, I tap out. So, if you get this far, and you want to go further on your own. But I am going to record the second part of this video next time. Because it's about 7:15, and I'm going to go to bed in like an hour. I know y'all don't do that, but I do. So we're going to pause right here at 16. I'm going to recoup on this tomorrow, and I will make a part 2 video. I'll link to it in the description below. Like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you in class. All right, folks, take care. Ta-ta.